So it says I'm live. It says there's one person here. I never know if that's me or not, but good morning. Happy Monday morning, everyone. I'm sure we're going to get some people coming and going. I tried to do my best this week, like I did last week, of kind of putting it out there over the weekend, but I recognized it was kind of a crazy weekend for those that did go to Posh Fest, or maybe those that were boycotting any social media because we didn't get to go to Posh Fest. We don't want to see everybody else's good time. But I thought about this last week, and so I'm just going to kind of jump right in and start talking and let people filter in. But basically, I used to work in, a company, like I'm sure a lot of us did or still do. And we had Monday morning meetings, and I think they were at 10. And it's not that I enjoyed going to a meeting, but I enjoyed going together with my team in a setting to just kind of like cover what's going on, because we would go off in our own directions, and I was in sales and in hospitality. And so we would be dealing with our clients most of the time. And so it's nice to always just kind of see and learn from each other in a meeting setting. And we're just coming off of Posh Fest weekend. Again, I did not go, obviously. And so that was an opportunity for people to get together and share from each other. And while I think reselling and the reselling community in general, we do a really good job on Instagram and on YouTube of creating a community for ourselves, sometimes it's nice, and that's why I do these lives, to like literally in live time have a conversation with someone. Doesn't mean that we're going to call each other up on the phone necessarily. Doesn't mean that we all need to be on a video call, because I recognize that that's not everybody's thing. But to get together in a format like this and actually just bring up topics and help each other with those topics as if you were attending a meeting every once in a while, I think is a cool idea. I mean, we'll see how it goes. We are starting to get people to come in, so that's great. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday. I already see some people posting hi. That's great. Thank you. So I updated the premiere thing, or whatever this live notice on YouTube was, with a couple of things this morning that I was going to talk about. So I'll just run through it. And then if you have a topic, maybe, because it's not maybe a question, but maybe you just want to talk about a topic, put some exclamation points or something with your topic in the chat, and then we can kind of see, how that goes. So again, just for those coming in, we're going to try to treat this. I mean, it can be a Q&A. If you have questions, put them in, of course. But I was going to try to treat it more like a Monday morning meeting, where we just have the opportunity to learn from each other, see what each other thinks about different things, what each other is working on. I haven't joined any masterminds. I don't know that I will, or accountability groups. The idea is appealing to me. But, maybe this can be somewhat of an informal opportunity for those that are into it to get together, put their topics, talk about some things, discuss some things, answer questions. And, then it's also available on the replay for others to watch later and learn from as well. And then the discussion can continue in the comments. Hi, everyone. Thank you for putting hi. Thank you for the like already. I appreciate that. I have to remember to ask for that. But so the couple of topics that I brought with me today are the following. Basically, and we're kind of touching on it just in the idea of like having a Monday morning meeting, but the idea of going from possibly a work environment where you had coworkers to a work environment where you don't have coworkers. So we can talk about that. I do have a kind of sick child this morning, so we can talk about that and kind of what we do and how we do it and how that changes our business if you are someone that stays home and works from home full-time in your reselling business and also have children. The next thing, of course, to talk about is Posh Fest. I have, been watching all of the live streams and just kind of observing what people have been putting out about it. So I have some thoughts, I have some questions. I'm curious what other people are thinking about Posh Fest. So obviously that's the topic du jour these days. And I am curious a little bit about some YouTube habits. I know what mine are, and I'm curious what yours are. And I think it would be interesting to talk about that. My husband is calling because he doesn't know that I go live at 11. Call you soon, live on YouTube. Send. Sorry. And so YouTube habits. And then I'd like to, if we're digging this format or digging how this goes, if it goes well and anyone has future topics, I would love to hear about those. And I'm thinking of announcing the next Monday. Is there next Monday? Yes, there's a next Monday. 2020 planning as a topic of discussion, perhaps. So I'll get started and run through my topics. And as you have things, put them in the chat. And if you have things, great. And if you don't, that's fine. I'm happy to chat for 30 minutes all by myself. It happens all the time. But I am happy that everyone is here. And hopefully, each one of us will get something to take away from this for today. I'm all about not wasting time if we can. So coworkers. I enjoyed being with coworkers. I enjoyed being in an environment where I had coworkers. I didn't always agree with them. I didn't always like them, but I did enjoy it. And I think it wasn't until I decided to do work from home, like reselling, where I realized how much I did talk with them and how friendly I was with them. And I think a lot of people underestimate that when they move to home. I mean, a lot of resellers talk about the loneliness factor. I wouldn't necessarily say that I'm lonely. I mean, I'm okay with being by myself. I have a family. I am involved in YouTube and in the reseller community on Instagram, or at least I think I am. And so I don't really feel lonely, but I do underestimate the amount of talk sometimes that can happen in a day. And, just having that banter back and forth with other adults, in a professional environment, I do miss that a little bit. I don't know if anyone else does, or maybe that's not an issue for you, but I do think that's why I sought out YouTube, why I, sought out Instagram. So this isn't a new topic. I was just curious if people had any interesting takes on coworkers or not having coworkers, or, we've talked last week about bringing employees on or bringing helpers on, but honestly, I don't really feel like I get that coworker vibe from any of them because they work so autonomously from me and remote. The two virtual assistants I have are located internationally, and the local person that I have works remotely from her house. We don't really even see each other that much anymore. So, I don't have a lot of that. And again, just curious what everybody else thinks, if this is a topic we want to stay on. So keep moving through them. I just wanted to brainstorm a few things that I've been thinking about this week. I worked from home full time with my previous employer, so it's not much different for me now. Thanks, Marcia. Yeah, I mean, and I had one work from home job in my series of jobs, and it was before Geo, so I wasn't a mom at the time, and I enjoyed it. My company was in New Jersey, and I had just moved from New Jersey to Orlando, and I was digging it. I did miss it a little bit because I felt like being in Orlando, there were other, like in events and hospitality, to work from home for a company in New Jersey. I didn't have any local things, but I felt like there were so many local things going on in Orlando for events and hospitality that I felt like I had FOMO, like I just wanted to be involved locally in what was going on. And that's why I made the change. But now I'm kind of over all of that, and I enjoy just doing my own thing. Like I think many of us do. I mean, if you're a self-starting, motivated person and you can make a list for yourself, plan out your week, do those things on that list, not procrastinate, then working from home should be fine for you. And as long as you find ways to network and seek out some sort of social component, if you need that, then you should be just fine. So that's why I don't really feel lonely per se, because I have YouTube, I have Instagram, and I've sought out ways to kind of fill those voids. But, again, I am mindful of people that are new to this, or, again, stay-at-home moms. There's like a loneliness factor to that to begin with, and, let alone reselling. So I just thought it would be a good topic to bring up today. It doesn't seem like we have too much on that right now, so I may just keep going forward. But, if you have something you're working on, something you have a question about, something you just want to bring up because you want to hear what people have to say about it, just drop it in the chat. So the next thing is Geo started coughing like 2 days ago. And again, for those that don't know, he's almost 4. He goes to a little part-time school, and they had sent out an email that there was pneumonia and croup in his class. Now, they've done that before, and Geo's never caught any of those things. I feel like in general, he has a pretty good immune system. We eat pretty healthy. And so for the most part, I feel like the good habits he has, he's not combating every single illness that goes around in the classroom. He started coughing and I was like, it could just be whatever, change of season, or it could be something. So I didn't have him go to school today, took him to the doctor. He's not sick. But I bring this up because normally he's in school part-time on Mondays. That's my YouTube day. So usually I do a video that I record about 9 o'clock. I drop him off at 8:30, go do my shipping at the storage unit, come back. I do a video between 9 and 10, like that's going to air later. Like I'm recording it by myself. I air it later. Then from 10 to 11, usually schedule a Momversations recording. Those go live on Saturdays, but that Momversations interview usually happens on a Monday. And then we go live at 11, then we're done by at least 12, try to shove something down my throat, and then I go pick them up. So Mondays are YouTube day. And so today I had 2 Momversations scheduled instead of a solo video and a Momversations. And the second I knew I was bringing him to the doctor, the second I knew he wasn't going to school, I was like, it's going to be a stressful day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to record these, like whatever. I just canceled them. Canceled them outright. The stress level went away because they were already off my plate and it felt really good. And I was kind of upset about it to begin with. I'm like, this was the day to get stuff done. It was a YouTube day. Canceled them. The people were very understanding. I'll reschedule with them for another time. And now I just decided to keep the live because I had already kind of put it out there. And oh no, praying for him. Thank you. Oh no, bad combination. Hope he doesn't have it. Yeah, I know. No, it turns out he doesn't have either one of those things. So that's good. But like I said, I'm so used to trying to be as productive as possible when he's in school, and I really maximize that time that he's away from me as much as I possibly can, that you have to just then all of a sudden flip from, okay, this was supposed to be a work 3.5 hours to now it's going to be a mom 3.5 hours. And it felt good to just kind of get those 2 things off my plate. And then it also was a little bit like, I really want to get that done. But I didn't have to deal then all morning with the stress of, am I going to make it? Is he going to be walking in? Right now, I just set him up with a show and a snack. And so this is like his calming down time because he was just playing. And I told him as long as he like plays and then has some resting time and then plays and has some resting time, we'll get through the day. So right now he's just watching a little show. So fingers crossed that he is occupied and we can get through this in a decent way. But it's that thing of when you're reselling and you're working from home, you have complete control of your entire schedule. You get to do exactly what you want to do when you want to do it. And that is so amazing. And it's also so terrifying because if you're ambitious, which I think many of us are, I know I am, you have all these things that you set up for yourself to do. And then boom, sick kid happens and everything goes off the rails. So it's nice to be able to choose and have that flexibility of, moving the work aside to another time. I didn't have to ask for off. I didn't have to use a sick day. Like all of that is awesome. And I'm just really curious what other reselling parents do. Again, I know everyone is in a different stage and season in their life and with the ages of their kids, but it's nice to hear just kind of what everyone else does when you find yourself with a sick child. If that's an issue that you come up with, do you have someone that helps you? Do you have parents in the area? And, my mom doesn't live in the area, so I don't have anyone else to help with it. So reselling will take a back burner if family priority comes up. And, it's hard to swallow sometimes because I do want to do the work stuff. I enjoy it. But also mommy duty calls. So I brought that up just as a topic to see what other people's thoughts are. So let's see what everybody's saying. My daughter has had a fever for the past 3 days. Hospital today, no work done for the past few days. Oh my gosh. Well, I hope that she feels better. I mean, it seems like a lot of stuff is going around in our area in Orlando. Plus it's the change of seasons. So, we got our flu shots really early. So hopefully it's not, anything too serious. So definitely go with her to the hospital. And I hope that she feels better. And, that's the thing. I think it is nice to, maybe we could talk about what kind of things you do regularly as a habit to prepare for the inevitable things that come up. I've said a bunch of times that I don't mind having a death pile. In fact, I like to have 2 or 3 weeks worth of items sourced ahead of myself so that if something goes off the rails and I can't go to source, luckily today wasn't a sourcing day and I didn't need stuff. Today was a YouTube day. So that, I was able to shift those things around. But what if I had no items to list and I was supposed to go sourcing today? I would have been completely SOL. So I like having a death pile ahead of time. I keep saying that I'm going to have photos ahead of time, but that never seems to happen because I feel like I'm always behind on photos. But I do think that that would be a good thing, having like maybe 50 photos done. You could just put them in a Google folder and you don't actually list them until you have a situation. And then if it gets too long, then maybe listen, because basically it would be unlisted inventory. You don't want to just sit on that, but you could have them there as like your emergency fund of photos. So I've thought about that. So I would be sourcing photographs, and then of course drafts if you couldn't list. But I feel like if you did have a sick kid or even an emergency, you could still possibly list something. They have Wi-Fi in waiting rooms, just kidding. But so really sourcing and photos would probably be the two major bottlenecks that would happen as a result of an emergency or a sick child or something like that. So it's a good to talk about. I have been a stay-at-home mom for over 20 years, but I've never felt lonely. Good. Got very active and involved at the kids' school for at least 15 years. Done with that. Happy to have the quiet time. LOL. Yes, Rose. Thank you for that comment. I do think that I would like to be one of those moms that's very involved in the school, so long, this is the big caveat, so long as I can hack dealing with the other moms. Like my big fear, because I wear my heart on my sleeve. I kind of say it how it is. I mean, I feel like in general, I'm somewhat tame on YouTube, on Instagram, but like my mind says way more mean things than come out of my mouth. I'm extremely feisty, and like just the idea of sometimes dealing with some of these like moms, I fear of like, no one's going to like Geo in the class because of how I got into it with some mom or something like that. So I'm not super confrontational, but I am like kind of judgy, I guess. I don't know. I just like, if you strike me the right way, I want to work with you. If you strike me the wrong way, like I'm going to steer clear, and hopefully we don't have any kerfuffles. And if, you're putting together the father-son breakfast donut day or something like that, there could be a kerfuffle. You just never know. So I definitely want to be involved. My mom had to work when I was in school, and so she wasn't able to be involved. So I really feel strongly about being involved. But I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. So we'll see. Also, too, I'm in kind of a borderline uppity area. And while we're not uppity and we don't live in the uppity area, we're uppity area adjacent. And so these moms around here are just like a little, not exactly my people. Anywho, I have a 4-year-old son also, and know how it is when your schedule gets turned upside down. Yes, Marcia. Yeah. A lot of people with 3 and 4-year-olds and then a little bit younger, that I definitely think that there are people that watch the channel, and shout out if you have the older kids and stuff, where I've actually seen some people that say I don't have kids, but I'm a caretaker for an elderly parent or something. So, the challenges that we face as reseller moms or caretakers or whatever, can vary depending on the particular situation that you have. But it's nice when you can find some camaraderie with like the age of the child. Like these 4-year-olds are crazy. But I love him. He's hysterical. It's my favorite age so far. I have a feeling, I always told people when he was a kid, I'm like, I feel like from 3 to 5, that's going to be like my sweet spot of age, because he's still going to be super sweet. He's still going to love mommy so much. He's going to say funny and weird things. So I feel like the age 3 to 5 is going to be my sweet spot with him. And inside out. Yeah. LOL. Thank you. When my kids get sick, depending on how bad, they are teens now, so they can take care of themselves. Yeah. I mean, I get very frustrated with the amount of care and dependency that he has on me, which obviously I understand. He's little, he's a toddler. It is what it is. It's just sometimes frustrating because I don't always understand what that really means. And I'm just a very motivated, ambitious person when it comes to work things. And since my work is here and in the home and commingled with my home life, it's hard to be able to get that time to just focus and jam. And I just, I do look forward to when Gio is more independent and can care for himself. Our neighbors have like 20-year-old kids, and they just hang out with them. Like, they hang out and they have fun and they enjoy being together as a family. And while we love that now, I'm very looking forward to knowing Gio as a more independent person, and like the personality that he develops and the kind of person that he is, and just being able to hang out with your kid that doesn't require all the giving of the care, but is just, I'm enjoying time with my son. I look forward to that. But I am treasuring this time. I know it goes fast, but it is nice sometimes to look ahead and be like, it'd be really cool to just like hop in the car with him and like chit chat in the car. I mean, we chit chat in the car anyway. Usually though, it's about snakes or trains or alligators, or right now, Darth Vader. But but yeah, I think that's cool and good for you. They can take care of themselves. I am looking forward to someday instituting a fend for yourself dinner night. I think that will teach Gio foraging skills. And so I'm looking forward to fend for yourself dinner night when he's older. I just tried to add you via Instagram, link below. It doesn't appear to link. So I had some major trouble with my links. I have no idea why. People have told me that my stuff doesn't work. Every time I try to fix it, I don't know. I think I just have too much in there. And so thank you, Paul and Lou. Hey, from the UK too. That's awesome. Thank you for joining. I need to like overhaul my YouTube description, because initially I wrote all this stuff. I'm going to put all these links and everything, and I feel like it's too cluttered. I feel like there's too much stuff in there, too many things that get broken as far as links go. So I'm going to fix it all. I am at the Reseller Mom Show on Instagram. So if you can just search for that, I'm there at the Reseller Mom Show. But thank you for letting me know. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I can fix all those links and stuff. What I need, I had an intern for a little while. She got a job. And so her, like on her mile-long list of social media activities was going to be redoing all of the YouTube videos and the links and stuff in there and the description. So it's not high up on the totem pole of things. This is the second of your videos that I watched. Do you use softbox lighting? Yes. I think they're soft. Yes, I have 2 lights. The link is in it below, and it is in my Amazon store, whether you buy it or not, just if you want to go see what it is, because I don't want to turn my whole thing. But it's basically 2 of them with the cover, the daylight bulbs inside. It's ESSDI, I think is the brand. I think it was like $50 or $70. I tried a ring light. I returned the ring light, and I stuck with these good old puppies. I also bought a second set of these for my photographer who does photography work for me from her home. So I like them. I really kind of wanted to I wanted to get rid of them and do the ring light, but I didn't dig it. So I have on my list of videos, it's been a long time coming, a reseller review of the lights and the ring light and the sweater shaver I bought and the scale I bought. It's on the list. That's one of those things where it's not easy to just come up and talk off the top of my head. Like, I have to make notes. I have to show you the thing. I was going to try to demonstrate these products and stuff and like make a reseller review that was worth watching so that you could really decide for yourself if it was an investment that you wanted to make for your business. And so because I have such a like super duper idea in my head that I want it to be this great video, then I end up not recording it. So I need to really work on it. So it's coming. But yeah, I do use softbox lights. I like it. I have a reseller room, and it's nice because I can leave them set up. There was a long time where I had to, because my husband doesn't like a mess, like pull them out every day and then put them away every day. That was very time consuming. And I think I wore on him and complained enough that I took over the office and got the reselling room. I have a video on the reselling room tour. If you want to, check that out. It's actually oddly one of the highest viewed videos that I have, which I think is really funny. But I love my reselling room. So definitely. I think now I can go live on mobile now that I've hit 1,000 subscribers. Maybe one day I'll do a live tour where I can move. Because right now I have you on the laptop and it's like stuck. How many employees do I currently have working for you? I have 2 virtual assistants. One I would say is more heavily part-time into full-time. I don't know if she has any other clients besides me, but she does a lot of my work. A lot of my work for me. And I would imagine that the work that I give her is a lot of the work, if not all of the work that she does. And then she asked if her brother could join the team. And so, because he was trying to build up his virtual assistant profile. So she said, do you have any work that he can just start with you so that he can get his profile going? And he started working for me. And so I have the 2 of them, but he only does a couple things sharing. And then I have the local photographer person. So I did have an intern for a while. I've had at times, the most virtual assistants I ever had at once was 6. It's crazy. And that wasn't all for reselling. That was for reselling, for print on demand. And I was trying out someone doing some social media help for me, and that didn't work out. And then the print on demand kind of worked out, kind of didn't. And I just kind of pulled back on that. And so now I just have the two virtual assistants for reselling, 1 local photographer. I have one of Gio's friends' moms that is interested in helping part-time. So we have a cruise coming up in like 2 weeks. And so I'm going to start formulating some thoughts about what I would have her help with. And so she would be local in person with me, likely at my house with me. But we're friends anyway. So I feel like it will be good to be, like work time, friend time together. And then the lady that does the photography, she works out of her home and does it remotely. And then the virtual assistants, of course, are remote. Do you sell items all year round, like sell shorts in the winter? So yeah, I list everything all year round. I don't hold things except for ugly Christmas sweaters I hold, and costumes I hold. Some costumes I'll put up throughout the year if I feel like it's something that the actual costume is maybe like somebody wants it for a school play, or it could just be used for some sort of purpose other than being a Halloween costume. But like there's some costumes that are like, it's a straight up Halloween costume. You're not going to really wear it for any other purpose. Those I hold on to. And then I list those. I start prep in June. I list them in July. They're live by the end of July. People start buying them in August. I know it's crazy, but they do. And I enjoy having as long of a selling season for a seasonal item as possible. For ugly Christmas sweaters, when do I put them up? I prep them in September. I guess they all went up in September this year. Why did they go up in August? I don't remember. August or September. I do them basically like as soon as all the costumes are up, then I start on the Christmas sweaters. So pretty much all my Christmas sweaters are up at this point. Those I save in bins throughout the year in my storage unit. I'm going to be evaluating Halloween costumes and ugly Christmas sweaters as do I want to deal with those next year or not? So based on the sales this year, I'll determine if next year I'm going to even bother with either of those categories. But swimsuits I put up all year, shorts I put up all year, tank tops I put up all year, fleeces and sweaters and jackets. I mean, I put everything up all year. I will say, like, if I have a pile, I may prioritize certain items over other items just because it makes the most sense. I'm going to likely more sell something that's in season than not in season, but you just never know. And I'm in Florida. It's still 80 and 90 degrees here. I saw somebody posting today, I think it was Pineapple Path on Instagram. I'm assuming it's a girl. I don't know. I like that person's account, and it was all about the sweaters. And I'm like, but it's not sweater weather yet. Like I saw one lady, we went to the pumpkin patch this week, and I saw one lady in like knee length boots. And I'm like, what are you doing? It's 90 degrees. Like, I get that you want it to be pumpkin season, but like we're in Florida and yes, we're going to get the pumpkins, but it's not boot weather yet. Like, I was sweating. It's like, you should not be wearing boots when it's 90 degrees out. So yes, long story short, I list things all year round. And if anyone else has thoughts on that, let's see. Is there a reason why you don't? I would love to know. It doesn't necessarily have to be all, just, I sold something. Yeah. let's see, what else did I have here? Okay, so let's talk about Posh Fest. So well, I don't know. Did anyone that's in here go to Posh Fest? Anybody? I have wanted to go every year that I knew there was one. I have not yet been able to go. I really thought that this year might have been the year, but it clearly was not. Perhaps next year will be the year. I feel like 2020 is my year. We'll see. Maybe not, but I've been saving. So what I'm doing is all the points that I get on my business credit card, I've been saving them. And that's my like conference fund. So whether I decide one year it's going to be eBay Open or whether one year it's going to be Posh Fest, I kind of want to go to Posh Fest more than I want to go to eBay Open. I'm going to use that. So I definitely at this point in time do not have enough. So I would have to fork over other money, but that's kind of what that is earmarked for. So, it's kind of like a girl can dream like that. Those hundreds of dollars that are piling up over there will be for Posh Fest 2020, hopefully. I did want to go. I'm a little conflicted about it, and here's why. So I used to do some, not a lot, but some business travel for my prior job, and I loved it. I loved going on business trips. I had my carry-on down exactly. I had like exactly what travel size stuff I was going to use. I was like super easy to get in and out of like the security line. Like I just enjoyed being a good, well-seasoned traveler for business. I would do some research ahead of time to like kind of pick out a few key places I wanted to go while I was there during my off time. I just enjoyed business travel. Now that I have a kid, I guess I would enjoy business travel. Like, hey, if I didn't have a choice and I'm on this business trip, I guess I could just chill and that's kind of nice, at night or whatever. But I also think it would be like crazy because you have to figure everything out and do all this planning and make sure that everything's going to go well while you're gone. So, that anxiety of like, if I were to go, my mom would clearly have to come and help with Gio. There's no way that my husband with his work schedule could be completely responsible for Gio all by himself. That just it would literally not work. So my mom would have to come and help. Or what I thought I might do next year is bring him with me, have her meet us wherever it is, and then she can just watch him there and like they're on vacation and I'm going to do the conference stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. It depends on where it is. My big vote is for Orlando. Hello, conference center. Hello, you should come here. But anyway, so I really would like to go. I am conflicted on the like mom front and balancing it all. I'm also kind of like, and I want to be nice about this, but again, I told you I was a little judgy. Like, I'm not a very girly girl. If you can tell, like how I am, how I talk, like I'm just not a super girly girl. I'm not even really a fashion girl. I just happened to be a reseller of clothing. I don't get all crazy about Python print. Like I don't get all crazy about gunny sacks and I don't get all crazy about Louboutins. Like it's just not something that gets my blood going. Making money, selling things, the act of what I'm doing for reselling clothing gets me going. The actual things that I'm selling don't get me going. And if they do, it's because I know I can sell it because I'm so excited about the fashion of the whatever thing. So I feel like I don't know if it's the place for me to go because I feel like it's very much about what you're wearing and who you're wearing and posing for all these step and repeats. And like, yes, like I would be great at networking. I used to do it all the time. I would love to enjoy meeting all the people and, have all the conversations. I would enjoy all the sessions. I would be a great, student. I'd love to hear all the information. But like the social component of the C and B scene thing kind of is a little like, I don't know if I don't think that everyone is this way, but I think that there's an element of like those girls in it. And there's no one in particular. It's just a feeling that I get from having watched the sessions, that there are definitely like the people that work for Poshmark that they had on stage, like Tracy Sun comes to mind. Like there's definitely people that are like legit professional women that are, they may not actually care about fashion, or they may care about fashion as a business, but it's not this very overwhelming, like girly, crazy, like fashionista thing. And then there was that lane. And then there was the lane of the girly fashionista person that just loves all the fashion and is a fashion blogger, is, on Instagram with all the outfit of the days. And like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, if that is your personality, then I think that that's fantastic. I just think if I was in a room full of hundreds of that, it would be very off-putting for me, because even though I'm not shy, I'm very outgoing, I'll talk to anybody, I'm just not of that same mindset. And so I'm just kind of like, how many of these people are like the girly one? And then how many of them are like, I just want to sell SHIT online kind of thing. So that's my big concern with that. I don't know if does anybody else have that concern? What camp are you in? Are you in the girly camp? Or are you in the like, listen, I just happen to sell clothes online? When you sell something on Poshmark, do you leave your listing up as not available, or do you delete the listing? When I sell something on Poshmark, do I leave the listing up? So, thank you, Rhonda. So Marsha, for when I sell something on another platform, until it's paid, I sell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. Everything is listed everywhere, all three places. So if it sells on Mercari, it gets ended on eBay and deleted on Poshmark. So there's no record of it anywhere else because it's already sold and paid for on Mercari. If it sells on eBay, but it's not paid for, it gets deactivated on Mercari and not for sale on Poshmark until they pay. Then it gets deleted and deleted. So there's no record of it. I don't leave it up not for sale just to have a record of the listing. No. If it sells on eBay and they're paid, then it's gone everywhere else. If it sells on Poshmark, it's going to get ended on eBay and ended on Mercari because that's an immediate transaction as well. So the only one that monkeys things up is eBay. Everybody else, is an easy transaction. I hear footsteps. I hear pitter patter. Hello, sir.
Can I go outside?
No, you cannot go outside until mommy's done with this, and then we can go outside together. So can you give me a couple more minutes?
I got good idea.
What is your good idea? Say hi to everybody.
Hi. Welcome to Deal Funny, the mommy person.
Okay.
I need to ask more questions.
Okay, no, we're not going to ask more questions. Mommy's going to finish this. Gio's going to do 5 more minutes over there with your TV show. Okay, no markers for you. Do 5 more minutes with your TV show, and then we'll go outside. 5 more minutes, Gio. 5 more minutes of resting. No. Yeah. 5 more minutes, and I will come and get you. Sorry. We did pretty good. We've gone 38 minutes without this happening, so I feel really good about it. Sorry, I just sell the clothes, but I'm not really into fashion. There we go. I think she is asking about Poshmark showing sold. Can't delete the solds as far as I know. So if it's sold, then it just stays there. I've never tried to delete it. Poshmark. Yeah, I never tried to delete it. I don't think you can. Yes.
Hear you. Great.
Thank you. So if you have other topics, comments, go ahead and put them in. Maybe we'll just kind of end on Poshmark, Poshfest. The other thing that I wanted to mention was just obviously the new features that are coming out. Thank you.
So you can write.
They are coming out with inventory sheet that you can download. Like you can download your sales report. Now you can get an inventory report of all of your live listings. I think that's fantastic. I have spent money and have a virtual assistant track everything in so many ways, in a custom Google sheet that I use. And I did a video showcasing that. And so if you could see, you can go and see like exactly what I'm tracking and how I'm tracking it. So I think that's great. But now that I already have my own and it's kind of custom and I've added to it and tweaked it over time, I don't know if I will want theirs, but I think it's good to be able to pull it to maybe for inventory purposes or just to be able to compare perhaps or see if there's anything on there that they are tracking automatically that I'm not tracking manually. But it'd be nice to just be able to utilize their inventory sheet. I just don't know if I can just make the leap. If you don't have anything like that at all, then I think it'll be amazing for you and a total game changer. But since I already have something, I'm not like, the custom SKU and being able to put your cost of goods in there and then like an other field, I think is fantastic. I just think that there may need to be some feedback and some improvements on how and when you see that information. Because if the only way you see that information is opening up the listing itself and editing it or seeing it in a report, I think that people are not going to like it and maybe won't use it as much. Because for me, I put my SKU in the title so that I can easily, and I did a whole video on this as well, because it saves a lot of time and having to open up the listing and seeing it in the description. When I just pull up my sales screen, I can see exactly what sold and exactly what bin it's in without having to do several click-throughs in the app. So having the custom SKU embedded inside in its own field that I can't see any other way would then make me have to go back in and click more buttons in order to get to it. And I think that that would be a waste of time, and therefore I probably wouldn't use it for that purpose. So that's my hot take on that. Just so the clothes, thanks. Hi, Gio. Yeah, I mean, he's pretty good. Like I said, that's why I prefer to do YouTube when he's not here, just so that I don't have to like, I felt the mental switch of like mom brain, YouTube professional, like reseller brain. So that was, mind blowing. Do you do store reviews live? I don't know. I mean, I never have. Do you want one? I mean, I've watched a couple of other YouTube channels do them, and a few have done them, and a few have shown them, and a few have just talked about what they do with them. And I kind of got the impression that it seemed very general across the board, and like they had canned responses that they were going to send us, like, buy it on eBay or however they were selling it. I'll work on it, and then I'll send you back a thing. And that would be your store review. And I just kind of felt like you probably say the same 10 things to the same damn people. And also possibly they all deserve it, improve your photos, do a better title, blah, blah, blah. And maybe they all deserve those comments, but I just felt like it was kind of like candish, because really you have to think like, can someone really spend an hour of their time looking over one store and saying unique things 10 times a day? Like, that's not really going to make them very much money if they were doing it for a money thing. The ones that I've seen live, I feel like sometimes have had good points, but are people, like when you do them live, the benefit is that other people could learn from them, which I think is great. But then is someone going to recognize the issue themselves in that review? Like if I have terrible photos and I'm watching someone do a review of someone with terrible photos and they say your photos are terrible, am I going to be self-aware enough to say, their photos are terrible and he told them to do this or this. My photos are terrible, so I should also pay attention to that advice. I don't know. So I would be open to the idea if you want to do one, like, let's do one. Like, that would be cool. I mean, I don't feel like I'm an expert. Like I had this YouTube channel to bring a voice to being a reseller mom, and I feel like I'm an expert in that. And I feel like I'm an expert in finding ways to shave off seconds and minutes in your routine, or finding a way to be more efficient at something. Like I'm a systems process person. And so I feel like those are my strengths, and those are the kinds of things I wanted to bring to the community. I don't necessarily feel at all that I'm the best reseller. I've said before, I don't think I'm the best sourcer. I'm sure if I looked at a very newbie's closet and said, hey, like, you got to say more than cute dress, or, like, I feel like I could bring constructive criticism. But if you're a seasoned seller, I don't know if I would have a lot to offer you, and I would feel really bad, like saying that I was somebody that could help you with that. So, I mean, feel free to DM me on Instagram. And, if you want me to look at your store, if you think it would be cool and you want me to do it on a video or something like that, I would be happy to, and see how that process would go. Because like I said, from my opinion, from watching others, I just kind of felt like I don't know how valuable that is to someone, but I recognize that people sometimes want individual help. I've thought about doing, like, I don't want to say coaching because I feel like people put out coaching a lot and that's also very generic and kind of like but not coaching, but more like, hey, if you really are alone in this and you really want to talk about something with someone, you really want to mull around an idea, have a sounding board, whatever support you wanted, more like a support line, and say, like, here's my hourly rate if you want to pick my brain for an hour, or let's come up with something together, a plan. Because sometimes you just need accountability. Sometimes you just need to say it out loud. Sometimes you just need clarification. Sometimes you need a plan. Everyone has different strengths. Some people's strengths are not planning and making a plan and making goals, but they could follow it, but they don't know how to make it. Or some people don't know how to push themselves and create like a stretch goal. So, all of those things are options. And if you ever have an idea and want to, figure something out, I'm totally open to whatever. I just am very cautious of ever really putting something like that out there because I don't want to get the backlash of like, well, charging for this, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I was almost not sure if I should do the Etsy store with the reseller tools that I have, but I was like, listen, I made these things. I'm sure that they will be helpful for someone. And because I made it and spent the time on it, I'd like to get a little something back for that time. I don't think it's unfair or weird or awful to ask for payment for a resource or a tool. So I have the Etsy store. Oh, well, that would be terrible. I have Darth Vader in the room. Thank you. Thank you for that artwork. It's beautiful. He's got his cape on.
That's a mean Darth.
A mean Darth Vader. Okay.
That's a mean artwork.
Oh, mean artwork. Yes, I can see how this is mean elements. We're going to put this right here. Darth Vader's going to find his patience for a couple more minutes, and then we'll be all set. So if you have an idea, let me know. Check out the Etsy store, etsy.com/shop/the reseller mom show. I'm putting up all kinds of tools and resources as I come up with them or as I make them for myself. I did make an ebook on how to run your local closet clear out, which I've had a lot of success with. So there's all sorts of stuff on there. Gee, everybody's saying hi to you.
Hi.
How long do you go?
Hi.
Hold on. We're sideways at the desk. It's the only way I could be in front of the lights. Okay, he's drinking water. How long do you go on clearance items? So if I understand correctly, all items, this is a new system I've put in place, and I did a whole video on it. But basically, at 1 year, all items are removed from my store. So I don't hold on to anything unless there's a very big exception, like something so long tail, something so expensive or whatever. And I don't have any of that. If it was so amazing, it would stay longer than a year. But pretty much if it's been listed in my store a year, it comes out completely. And then I have a series of clearance steps that I do outside of selling it online. While I'm gone on the cruise, I've already recorded that video. It's going live sometime. So sometime in before the end of the month, how I clearance out items, my system for that video will go live. Then I did a video, which is live already, which is my inventory management system and the triggers that I've set up that at this time of being listed, this is going to happen. Price drop. At this time of being listed, it's going to be relisted. At this time, it's going to be pulled from the store. So I have set systems for that. And this is the year that I'm kind of testing those out. And I'm going to reevaluate as I get closer to the end of the year if I will be doing all of those systems going forward in 2020. This was the first year and period of time that I put the systems into place to execute on, needed some period of time to evaluate, have to go through my spreadsheets. And then as I approach 2020, which is why I'd love to do a planning, a 2020 goals planning, 2020 strategies planning, live. I think that would be cool. Because sometimes it's nice to kind of kick those ideas around of like, what improvements could I make? What improvements should I make? What is an area that needs to improve, but I don't know the resulting solution for it? So yes, that is the answer to that. Sorry, I like go and go and then I stop. Now Gio's off and I don't know. But we did pretty, I mean, I watched, it was 38 minutes till he came in here. That was pretty good. Okay, I think that would be cool to do a store review. I might cringe a little bit though. Yeah, I mean, let me know, because I don't have any of your like contact or any way to do that. So if you're on Instagram, DM me at the Reseller Mom Show, and then we can set something up and see how it goes. Because I mean, I would have an idea in my head like how I would do it, but honestly, I don't. I mean, and I see, like I said, from others that I've watched that have talked about the ones that they've done for people or have done them live, kind of the key points that they hit with a store review. So I would imagine that's not rocket science. You're going to hit photos, title, description, product mix, you know, all those kinds of things. But I'm sure there are a lot of improvements that could be made for any store. I mean, nobody's store is perfect. And so, you know, the other thing is too, and like interrupt myself sometimes, but everyone's business is so unique that it is difficult sometimes. Like you can offer thoughts and advice and like, hey, did you think of this? Why don't you try that? But there are very few absolutes. Like, yes, in your title, you should have brand, size, some keywords, whatever. Like, yes, there are some absolutes in that regard. But as far as like product mix, like I feel like there are a lot of YouTubers these days that are saying, do this, do it this way, price it this way, like giving these absolutes and advice that it's like, you don't know me. Like you don't know my business. You don't know how I want to do it. You don't know any of that. Now, granted, if somebody's coming to you for help and then you give them your thoughts and opinions, then yeah, you know, that was okay to say and that was warranted. That's what they asked for. And it's not like, don't ask me and then not like what I have to say. But I feel like everybody puts out so much, I don't know, and maybe I've done it and I don't realize I've done it, but and maybe because it's a mom thing, I tell you what I'm doing, I show you a way. Like it's not the way. And sometimes it's not even going to be my way for forever because I'm trying things all the time. I'm breaking things all the time. Like I stuck with, for the first 6 months of the year, free shipping on eBay. And the last 6 months of the year, I'm doing charging for shipping on eBay. Those are probably the only 2 policies that I have kept for that long. And that's a 6 month. Everything else I change on a constant basis because I'm constantly figuring out a way to fix it, improve it, make it more efficient. Like now I think I have a post coming on this soon. I schedule my posts on Instagram. Don't judge me. Like tape measure versus yardstick. Like I am all about the yardstick right now. This is my new best friend. I want to bedazzle this thing. Like I use it now for everything. Now, granted, I measure up there on the hook. I don't measure on a table or anything like that. I measure at the time I'm taking my photos and I write it down, you know, so it lends itself to my process. This may not work for everyone, but like I've been reselling for 3 years. I just decided last week to try out the yardstick. Stuff like that makes me so upset. It could have been yardstick measuring the whole time. But yeah, so I mean, I make changes all the time. And so I don't think that my way is the right way. I think it's the right way for me for now until I change my mind. And so putting out lots of ideas for people to possibly cherry pick what works for them is what YouTube is for in the reseller community, in my opinion. Me putting out all my ways, you know, Daily Refinement putting out all his ways, Rockstar Flipper putting out his ways, Nicole State putting out her ways, Lindy Gunn putting out her ways, Riley Roots, everybody, all the people, like everybody putting out their own ways, then I can cherry pick and see what I want to do. You can cherry pick and see what you want to do. But somebody saying this is the way it needs to be, or don't do it like this, or do it like this, and being very absolute kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't think I do that. And if I do, let me know, because I don't want to and I don't mean to, because I think it's so unique. in everybody's own things. So let's go ahead and kind of wrap it at this point, because I was going to talk about YouTube habits. We'll save that for another time. If you have any thoughts on what you might want to do for a future topic, like, I don't know, I called it Monday morning meeting. This feels like the same thing I did the week before, which was a Q&A. So I don't know if you as a viewer felt like you couldn't ask a question or should bring a top, or, whatever. Like, I don't know if we call it anything, if it really matters. The idea struck me and I thought it would be fun to try. So maybe we'll just stick with, it's a live, it's a Q&A, bring a topic, bring a question, bring a whatever, and we'll go through it. I really would love in the future to do one of those live with a video, like that Daily Refinement does, but I don't know how to do it live. I know how to record it because that's how I do Conversations, but I don't know how to do it live yet. So I have to figure that out. Tech stuff takes me a while to figure out. Just discovered your channel and love it. Gonna binge watch your shows while listening today as a fellow reselling mom. Thanks for, notification just popped in. I couldn't read it. Hold on. Thanks for being relatable. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do, Kristen. Thank you so much for saying that, for finding me, for saying that. It's really funny how our lives are run by these algorithms. I'm doing the best I can to come up with keywords, but I feel like sometimes I come up with a video that I have something to say about, and it's not always like something that people are searching for. So I'm not coming up in search as often as other people, because I'm just making videos that I can make rather than making a video of a searchable topic. Because I may not have anything to say on that topic, but I do have something to say about, this is how I take photos faster. But is somebody searching taking photos faster? Not usually. So I have a keywording problem for my YouTube videos. And so I feel like there are way more people out there that could totally dig this channel. I haven't found them yet. That's why I try to be as active as possible on Instagram, because I feel like that's a good way for people to find me. And then just making hopefully good videos. Hey, go ahead and like the video. I forget to do it all the time. Like the video if you haven't liked it for me, please. All these indicators tell YouTube that it's a good video, and then YouTube will suggest it to people. And then that's where, I don't know if that's how you discovered this channel. If you want to tell me, that would be awesome. But I feel like I've heard that a lot recently. Like, I just found you. This is cool. And of course that feels great. And I appreciate you telling me. But it's like, I wish I could figure out how to make myself more available for people to find, because non-reseller moms can certainly watch. And I know there are some that aren't reseller moms that watch. And I think that's great. And you are all welcome. But I did make it specifically in the beginning to have the reseller mom voice and to deal with unique challenges and situations going along with being a reselling mom. And honestly, there's so many more topics that I want to handle that I haven't quite found the way to bring to light yet. Like, I want to do more about actually what it's like and what you can do reselling with kids. I just can't figure out, is it pictures? Is it video? Do I need someone to be videoing me with Gio? Like, when do those moments happen? But I feel like I teach him so much about so many things as a result of being a reseller. We have so many teachable moments that for the people that post, and I see it a lot, they're moms that are so frustrated because they want to be a good reseller, or they need to make money, or whatever is the driver of the thing, but they can't get the work done and they're frustrated. And I think sometimes they may be resentful of their kids, or, I don't want someone's ambition to ever be taken out on a kid or in resentful feelings towards your kid because you can't take your photos. But if you need that money, you need to take the photos, but your kid's all up in your business. Like, yeah, it's frustrating, sure. But there were some messages that I've read over the course of a couple of years now that really stuck with me on, like I would see them in Facebook groups or whatever, of just severe frustration of having to deal with a little one at home and trying to run your business. And I feel like if you can make the business something that your kid can be involved in some way, in some fashion, and then you can bring a little bit of patience, you can have a really amazing experience with your kids and with reselling. And I'm not saying that Gio and I are perfect at all. at all. Because who knows what he's doing in that other room right now. I can only imagine. But like, he's fine. But like, you know, from when he was little and just putting stickers on packages to then he was older and would put the packages in his shopping cart and push them around or help me put them in the IKEA bags. I saw Maria, I can't even say her name. It starts with an M, Mataroso, or it's hard for me to, I don't remember how she told me to say it. But on her channel, she's doing Vlogtober. It's awesome. She's a reselling stay-at-home mom and a reselling full-time work from home mom, however she calls it. And you know, her little boy, who's a little younger than Gio, was like putting her packages in the IKEA bag for her. And it was so cute. And I'm like, that's exactly the kind of thing that Gio used to do. And if you make it fun, he wants to go around and measure items and stuff. And now I'm just like ranting. I'm sorry. But Rhonda says, actually found you watching Lindy Glenn. Yay. Please don't change. Relatable is awesome. I appreciate that. And like, Lindy is awesome. I've watched so much of her stuff early on. I still watch her stuff. And she is a great reselling mom and a great example.
You're taking too long.
I'm taking too long. Okay. But I felt like even though she talked about what was going on in her life, sometimes I felt like I needed more from her because she was in a similar situation to me. And honestly, I think we have the same birthday, she and I. But anyway, I was like, I need you to tell me more about what it's actually like. I need you to share with me more. I need you to show me more. I need you to not just be this person. And she is relatable. And I'm talking about it, and I never really wanted to talk about another YouTube on my channel. And this is all positive and with love. I'm just stating my truth of, I wish I had more from her on the topic of being a reselling mom, and that's why I started the channel. So, I mean, I kind of have her to thank a little bit, but, you know, it's nice that some of my stuff is coming up under her stuff because that would make sense, right? It would make sense. So thank you, YouTube, for doing good algorithm stuff. Follow them on Insta. You sell in the UK. That's cool. Follow them there. Yes, yes, yes. What's the name of Maria? I don't know. It's her name. It's Maria something. Like I said, I just don't know how to pronounce it. Mataroso. Go on my Instagram. All her stuff is linked because she was the very first reseller momversations that I did. The very first reseller momversations, the post will be there. And I linked all her stuff in there because it's her name, Maria M something. And like I said, she's great. But I think he's going to every once in a while you just hear like tinkle tinkle. You're like, I really hope that's in the toilet. He's never done that, but my heart still skips a beat when I hear it. Anyway, I need to go. We're over an hour. I appreciate everyone that showed up today. I appreciate everyone spending their time and keeping the chat going. And just, yeah, I know. It's like, I don't want to overshare. He's going to kill me when he's 18, but, oh, no. Don't come over here. Pull your pants up over there. No. You can get me in big trouble with YouTube. All right, I need to go. Everyone, have a great day. Happy Monday. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you later. Bye. No.
I need you to tell them.
No, you cannot tell them when you have no pants.